You know what that sound is? There's a tornado coming right for you. This will be the first episode in a two-part series of the worst tornado scenarios of all time. In this episode, you will be a resident of a small town, and these 5 tornadoes listed in order will be the worst case. These tornadoes will be based off of miles per hour, width, and the travel speed. I've compiled data from every notable tornado since 1970 and got each ranking from a spreadsheet. So it is all data. There are enough videos out there describing why Joplin was so bad, but what made Joplin so bad was where it was hit. If this tornado was 50 miles further north, not too many of us would know about it. I wanted to find some of the tornadoes that maybe no one knew about to put on this list. Hence, this list is based on the pure strength of the tornado and not the impact it had. Lastly, and unfortunately, I had to go off of data that is found. Accurate data wasn't really collected before 1970, and even post 1970 if the tornado didn't hit a town or a city up until the late 90s and early 2000s, there was no real data on that as well. Let's jump right into it. Number 5, the Mulhall, Oklahoma tornado of May 3rd, 1999. The wind speed was 257 miles per hour, width of 1.5 miles, and a travel speed of 29 miles per hour. Date might sound familiar as it is from the same storm as the number 4 tornado on this list. This tornado damaged and destroyed 60 to 70% of 130 homes in Mulhall and destroyed 80% of the town. Some water towers have been knocked over from tornadoes, but this tornado knocked over the water tower and twisted it beyond recognition. This tornado touched down at 9:25 p.m. and was on the ground for 1 hour and 20 minutes while traveling 39 miles in the northeast direction. This tornado had wind gusts of greater than 96 miles per hour on a 4.3 mile width and has the largest ever core circulation of 1,600 meters, or roughly 1 mile between peak velocity on either side of the tornado, meaning the strength of this tornado covered a wide surface area. Notable storm chaser and meteorologist Roger Edwards claims this tornado is worse than the Bridge Creek Moore tornado from the same day. Speaking of which, number 4, the Bridge Creek Moore tornado of May 3rd, 1999. Just 3 hours and 2 minutes earlier of the tornado just discussed, this tornado touched down at 6:23 and traveled 38 miles in the northeast direction for 1 hour and 25 minutes. The travel speed was 26.82 miles per hour, and the width was zero point 0.8 miles, and at 301 miles per hour, at its very minimum, and with some possibility that the wind was up to 321 miles per hour, this is still the highest wind speed ever recorded on planet Earth. The Aircast TV YouTube channel still has the KFOR coverage from that storm, and this might be the first time you see the strength of the tornado. At the 32-minute 45-second mark, you see the strength of the tornado, and just 22 minutes later, the soft-spoken Jim Gardner comes in with a panic and shows what the storm did and how fast and how much area was destroyed. Number 3, the 1970 Lubbock tornado. On May 11th in the southwest part of Lubbock, Texas, a tornado touched down at 9:35. This tornado only traveled on the ground for 30 minutes and went in the northeast direction for 8.5 miles. The wind speed on this was 290 miles per hour, with the width of 1.5 miles and traveled roughly 30 miles per hour in the northeast direction. This was the first detailed path done from Ted Fujita, and also influenced the Fujita scale that came out in 1971. As of recent, the news and the storm chasing community uses the EF scale, or the Enhanced Fujita scale, which measures damage. The original Fujita scale measured the wind speed of a tornado. And from my research, they got the 290 mile per hour wind speed measurement from the fact that this tornado threw a 26,000 pound fertilizer tank 3/4 of a mile. But sadly, there are no pictures or videos of this tornado. Number 2, the El Reno Piedmont tornado of 2011. This relatively unknown tornado traveled 63 miles in the northeast direction with a wind speed of 295 miles per hour and a width of 1.16 miles. This tornado touched down at 3:51 p.m. and lasted 1 hour and 44 minutes and had a travel speed of 34.28 miles per hour. This tornado was more than likely less talked about because this was 2 days after the infamous Joplin, Missouri tornado. This tornado probably has the most impressive tornado damage I've ever seen. The storm rolled over a 2 million pound drilling rig near the El Reno area at the Cactus 117 oil rig, and the damages alone to this were $14 million. Number 1, finally on May 31st, 2013, at 6:03 p.m., a tornado 8 miles west-southwest of El Reno touched down. This storm had an initial recording of 296 mile per hour wind speed, but was later upgraded to 313 from a radar scan analysis done in 2015. Even using the 296 mile per hour wind speed, this tornado was the number one tornado and by far the number one tornado. Not only was this tornado slow moving at 24 miles per hour, it was also the largest tornado ever recorded at 2.6 miles wide. This tornado did have a bizarre travel path, starting in the southeast direction and changing in the northeast direction. Much of the somewhat short-lived tornado, 40 minutes and having traveled only 16.2 miles, impacted unused open land. This was the storm that killed the TwistX team led by Tim Samaras. Him being probably the most notable storm chaser in the country, he was known for his safety approaches to tornadoes. Emily Sutton of the News 9 and Mike Bettis of the Weather Channel both had their vehicles hit. Bettis stated in an interview he thought he was going to die as his car was flipping over in the air. Reading these accounts of the storm chasers getting hit by the tornado, not only were they professional storm chasers and knew what they were doing, but they were also trying to escape the storm. This tornado has arguably the highest wind speeds ever recorded and is the largest tornado of all time, making this the strongest tornado ever.